Good afternoon, my people. What is going on? It is your boy, Charles Tank Harris, the founder and chief visionary officer of the financial literacy platform Wealth Our Way, where our motto is wealth is not only for the wealthy. Today is Tuesday, March 16th, 2021. So you know what day it is. I'm going to get into it in a second. Before that, I want to thank everybody who's in attendance. You know, I love that every time I come on here, I know I can count on my village to show up, show out, support Wealth Our Way, come get this financial literacy, and that means everything to me. And I also would like to shout out those of you who are watching this pre-recorded at a later time, whether it's in Facebook or YouTube, just coming to get your 15-minute financial fix whenever time permits. So I promised you guys a financial fast. What I have done is I've taken information from various sources, various learnings that I've had over the course of my career, and I've compiled a financial fast to get to the heart of the matter. So the reality is this, you know, I'm a man of faith. And although my pastor doesn't see me nearly as much as he wishes to, he knows that blame it on the head, not the heart. The reality is that the first real experience that I had with a fast, I got in church, and I got the understanding that a fast is a time that you are to cleanse yourself of something. You are to cleanse yourself of all of the extra noise, cleanse yourself of all of the bad habits to get a more calming sense of who you are and how you relate in this world. So a financial fast is going to do that same thing. So without further ado, we're going to jump into the financial fast agenda. And we're also going to, part of the agenda for today is we're going to take the W.O.W financial pledge. I have not figured out, but I will. I'll do it overnight. I've not figured out how I'm going to get to each of you the actual pledge, but I'm going to share it with you today on the StreamYard, and you can inbox me, you know, Tank, email that to me, whatever the case may be, and I'll make sure you get it. Renee and I'll work it out. So without any further ado, let's go and take a look at what we are talking about here. Give me 1 second. All right. So we are looking at the W.O.W financial pledge. And basically what the pledge is going to cover is your promise to yourself. You know, of course, I want to make sure that you do everything that the pledge is saying. But any real pledge, so, you know, you guys know I'm not only a financial planner, but I'm also very, very big into self-maximization is what I call it. So always looking at self-improvement. Financial literacy is just one area in which I'm trying to improve every day. I'm trying to improve spiritually. I'm trying to improve with my health. I'm trying to improve in my relationships. And one of the things that I've learned over this self-improvement journey is that we need to be more accountable to ourselves than to anyone and anything else. You have to believe you when you wake up in the morning. So when I first got into financial services, I've shared this with you guys. I was a financial sales person. So I've taken a lot of sales training classes. And one of the best pieces of advice that I got is from a sales training class is also something that applies to every other area of life is before you can go out and sell to someone else, you have to first sell yourself. You have to first believe that what you are talking about is worthwhile, that anyone should actually listen and believe it. And if you can't convince yourself of that, you're going to have zero success. Anybody out there who's a parent knows exactly what I'm talking about. Sometimes we got to Kirk Franklin our children because they are doing what they saw us do instead of doing what we're telling them to do. Children are little teeny mirrors of what we do day in and day out. No one gets a better glimpse of us than our spouses and our children. So a lot of times we're meaning for something to happen, but our children are picking up what we're putting out. And when you make a pledge, and in this case, it's a financial pledge, you have to make it to yourself. You have to get on board. Are we going to check in? Yes, we are. We got 14 days together on this thing. Am I going to ask you to bring outside sources in closer to you than Big Tank is? Yes, I am, because I want you to have an accountability partner. But the reality is the main person you have to impress, the main person you have to prove to, the main person you have to keep up with is you. This pledge is about you pledging to yourself what you're going to do. So with that being said, we're going to repeat after me. I, Big Tank, promise and declare my commitment to be a good steward over my finances and every aspect of my life, including my time, my talent, treasure, family, and all that I possess. I will write down my goals and keep myself accountable to them. As a result, I will create a monthly spending plan, track my spending, and find extra money to pay down debt. I will get financial advice from a financial advisor as needed. I will never invest in something that I do not know anything about. I will communicate freely with my family about my finances and educate my children about business and finance. Why do I point that out? Well, once again, in the community from which I come, we didn't talk about finances. It was stay out of grown folks' business. You weren't supposed to know anything that mom was broke or dad was broke. You didn't get that knowledge growing up. There was a lot of financial shame in the community in which I was raised. We're going to break that, as they say, generational curse. We're not going to hold our tongue. We're going to share. I'll jump off finances for a quick second. One of the things that always makes the arm hairs stand on end is when someone says so happily and proudly, I never saw my parents even argue. I feel bad for you because your parents argued. And if you're growing up thinking that arguments don't happen among spouses, you have an unrealistic expectation of what should go on with your spouse. The first time you have an argument, you're like, whoa, what's wrong? I never saw my parents do this. Same thing financially. If you never understood that mom had to rob Peter to pay Paul, that dad had to work 3 jobs and was stressed, and that's why he yelled at mom sometimes, whatever happened, if you didn't understand that money may have been at the root of it, when you come across those same money issues, you won't understand. We're going to communicate about that. You see about creating a monthly spending plan and tracking it. You heard me talk about a budget so much, I know you don't need to hear me talk about it again. So real quick, let me just show you also on the Financial Fast agenda. Give me a second. I'm going to go into the screen share and bring this down a little bit. And there we go. Oops. Be careful, Tank. There we go. I will set generational financial priorities and ensure that my wealth is passed on to future generations. I am committed to this declaration and will put into action all the knowledge I have obtained by reading the 5 major money moves and 3 money must do's. Shameless plug for the book. Not so shameless, though. Most of you cats here have it, so I'm not pushing it. And taking advantage of the tools that I have acquired through this financial learning journey, through all of these sessions of 15 minutes of finance that you have sat in, all of the visits to the W.O.W website. Here is where we put it into action. By doing so, I will set myself apart to build wealth for myself, my family, and future generations. I'm going to get this to you to sign, and you're going to be on your way. So you guys bear with me for a quick second. I'm going to go back to being just me. I'm going to find this other part of the email that you guys need to know. So give me 1 second. And what I want to do now is just share with you the actual agenda for the fast. I want you guys to be able to see what we're doing here. So with that being said, we're gonna come back in here to the yard, and I'm going to share my screen again, bring up the application window, bring up this, share it, and come over here. And here we go. The W.O.W Financial Fast Agenda. I want to say this because I gotta pat myself on the back when I can. scrambling to get these Word docs shared with you guys. You guys know from being here many, many times, my struggles with technology. I'm getting smoother and smoother with bringing stuff over, and I like to see the growth. Why I bring that up, not just to brag, but because growth is possible. I'm growing in front of your eyes the way I want to, not from eating too many cheesesteaks. I'm growing because I'm practicing every day to get better. I bring that up because I talk to people all the time who think, oh, Tank, you've been making good money for the last quarter century. Finance just coming easy for you because you have a lot of money. That is one of the oldest myths known to man and woman, that if you have more money, financially, your life is better and things are easier. Untrue. I work with professional athletes and entertainers. I've told you this before, 8-figure salaries, $100 million earnings over the course of a life, and end up broke, some of them. So don't think just because you make more money, things are going to be great. So I showed you the WOW financial pledge. I told you that a fast is a financial fast is a chance for you to clean out old habits, start new habits. You want to cleanse yourself of the things that you have done poorly financially and take time to really create a vision for yourself of what you want your financial life to look like. We are experiencing, and people had asked me to go into the American Rescue Plan over the next couple of days and to push the fast back. But I wanted to bring the fast to life right now, and we're going to do it through the rest of the month. We are in a time right now in this country, especially in underserved communities, where we have a chance to close the racial wealth gap. We also have a chance to improve generational wealth, whether we're white, black, doesn't matter. If you have lower income, if you're not upper middle class, you have a chance like no other. The money that's coming into our pockets through the tax breaks in the American Rescue Plan, through the stimulus checks, there are a lot of people. I talk to teachers, for instance. Teachers are still getting paid. You know, the teachers are still getting paid and they're getting all the stimulus money. There are a lot of other professions that's happening to. Now, do not get me wrong. I am very sensitive to people who are waiting on the stimulus check because they don't have enough money to keep their lights on right now, and they're not in the position that I'm describing. I understand that. But I'm talking to people who have not had any interruption in their income, yet they are still receiving the stimulus money that's coming out now. I'm talking to people, myself included, who have actually watched their expenses go down because of the pandemic. I'm traveling less. I'm eating out less. I'm doing so many things less than I used to do before. I'm spending way less money than I did pre-pandemic. So for those people who now have this influx of money, it is a time to direct this money to debt reduction, high interest debt reduction, or financial products that will better your life. We talked about savings bonds briefly the other day, and I told you I'm a firm believer that for children, the closer to birth as possible, we should get them whole life or cash value life insurance policies. And what better time now if you have 50, 100, 150 extra dollars to put into these types of vehicles. See, as a person who doesn't sell product, I can tell you there are good products for you to close the racial wealth gap, to close your own personal financial holes with. And now is the time to do it. So I leave you with, in the introduction, what do you wish to accomplish? That is something that you only know for you. What do you wish to accomplish? This financial fast is here for you to improve upon everything that we've learned so far and implemented it into your life. I'm not going to scroll down to show you what day one looks like, but day one starts tomorrow. What I will tell you is that if you commit over these next 14 days to doing what each day of the fast outlines, and you commit to the financial pledge, the WOW financial pledge, you will better your life financially. And if you better your life financially, I promise you the overall quality of your life will also improve. I'm here to help. I always am. And I just want to say to you, I feel as though there's no one out there who can't benefit from this fast. So if you have been an avid Wealth Our Way 15 Minutes of Finance listener, it's time to bring a friend. I'm on Clubhouse tonight at 7 p.m. Clubhouse at 7 p.m. I'm doing 15 Minutes of Finance PM tonight. So I want you guys to enjoy the rest of your day. Come tomorrow, ready to start the fast, ready to learn. Remember, wealth is not only for the wealthy. It's your boy Big Tank signing out. Have a great day.